So I wonder, is there anybody out there? I'm testing this today. Okay. I have been here all day. Okay, I have been here all day long trying to get this thing working. On, is there anybody out there? Anybody out there at all? I've been working all day long to get this thing working the way it should. Anybody out there? EHERA. Okay, let's see if anybody out there. Anybody out there? Okay, let me see. I couldn't tell you. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. So, am I on Instagram right now? I should be on Instagram right now. At least I'm thinking I am anyway. Okay, connect streaming software to go live. That's what I did. Okay, so I'm trying to figure how to do the Instagram thing here. Okay, so go live. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Okay, it says go live right there. Copy and paste again. This unique stream tells your streaming software where to send your video feed and lets Instagram accept it. Okay, then I'm with you. So where do you put the software on the I'm trying to get this ready for tomorrow, folks. I'm just trying to get this ready for tomorrow. Uh, well, I'm trying to set up for tomorrow because Facebook Live is giving me the blues. Not only me though, it's giving a whole lot of people the blues. So I'm trying to do it on Instagram. Am I on Instagram? Let me see. Can you see if I'm on Instagram or not, First Sergeant, and let me know? Yeah, somebody let me know something here because I don't want to be an idiot here. Okay, so we got. Oh, it's on. It can't be on Facebook because this morning it wouldn't go on Facebook. Okay, is it really on? Okay, so nobody's on YouTube. People on Facebook. How's it on Facebook when it wouldn't when it wouldn't go on Facebook this morning? I mean, I'm sitting here since 7 o'clock this morning, and you know what? It's there now. It's there. I can't believe it. Okay, it's there. So I don't have to do the. Okay then, it's there. What can I tell you? Um, life is hard, and then it's over. All right then. So now it's on Instagram, and now it's on Facebook. So I guess they fixed their problem because they certainly hadn't fixed it this morning. Okay, we are on live now, but not this morning. Not this morning. We were not. Okay. Okay. But I've learned. Hell, I've learned how to do Instagram now. Took me all day to figure it out, but I did. Okay. So we good. All right then. Okay. Now I'm going to try to show the city council meeting this afternoon, um, so people don't have to get out there. But I'm going to see if I can find it. But before I go anyplace, okay, there's this. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna really see if we are actually on or not. I'm going to show this fella here. Let me see now. This guy. Let's see. Put this over here like so, and put this over here like so. There's StreamYard right there. There we go. And so we are going to see whether or not we are can actually do this. Because this morning it was giving me the blues. You guys could hear it, but I couldn't hear it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Now let me see if my phone thing is working here. Um, Let me be your joy and laughter. Togetherness is all I'm after. Just call my name and I'll be there. Oh, you don't see me on Instagram? Okay. Yeah, you got to put the special software in there. I got to figure out where that goes. Then I'll be ready. I'll be ready to go. Okay. Well, I'll be on Instagram in the morning and Facebook and YouTube. Okay, that's the ones I'm going to. Okay. So now let me see if my phone is working. So can somebody give a brother a commo check? Okay. Let me see. Hold on. I can give my own self a commo check on the phone. Okay. So that number is 334-521. 2963, 29. See, I hate looking like a private in the mornings. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay then. So, hate looking like a private first thing in the morning. I'm looking worse than Z is right now in AIT because I'm trying to figure out how to work some of this stuff. And it is first of all, let me see if I can actually show you guys this right here, because this is where our colleges have gotten to. Okay, now this is where our colleges have gotten to. I just want to see if you guys can see it and see if I'm totally wrong or I'm just right as I don't.
I'm here because
I'm not feeling anything towards you.
Okay,
I'm not prejudicing you. I'm not stereotyping you. I'm saying it's a material.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you
Well,
are.
you are. You said I don't feel comfortable being here. You started with.
I didn't say I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah,
being here. I
okay.
said
So let me
feel
see if I can
you
see this
made
guy
it
right
to
here.
where
Okay,
I
so
got
sounds
here
right
through
here.
DEI.
So let's examine that. What have I said that makes you feel that way?
When you mentioned how
Okay,
DEI
so let
is
me
only
see. Let me
just
see. Let
putting
me see.
people of color and marginalized
Audio
groups in
is right
spaces,
there.
even if they're not
We
so
want
and
to go
so
down.
Correct.
qualified.
That's exactly what DEI does.
But that's not
Okay,
that's not
maybe we
all
can
that
get
it
it. Maybe
does.
we
You're
can't get it.
categorizing
I'll
it as
figure this
something
out
it
later on.
isn't.
No, that is
Okay,
like
no,
that is the
not-
charter missions for the
That's not all.
Okay,
that it
so
does.
diversity, equity. So
that's not
equity
it
is
either.
outcome based. It's about
Okay,
making
then.
people
Well,
who are
hold
of
on,
different
let me
skin
make sure
colors
that I
have
am
the same
actually,
outcome,
let me
regardless
make sure
whether or
that
not
I've
they are
actually
qualified. The
got
best
the
example
sound
we
up
have
on
of
this
this
thing.
is the Students for Fair
Okay.
Admission Harvard
I want you
Supreme
guys to
Court
hear
case
this.
where
And
black
I
students
want to know if you
they
reached
did
the
not
same
literally
conclusion
they could
I
have
reached
a SAT
when I
score
listened to
300
this guy
points
the other day.
lesser than the
Okay.
Asian equivalent
Now
and still get into Harvard.
now we back
That
up
is
and going.
DEI in
Now
practice.
let me see.
I
if
believe when
can,
you're hiring for an organization or for a company or for whatever you
this
are
young
doing,
fella
you should
here,
prioritize merit
because he is
and
he's
character,
talking some
and
smack,
race should mean
and
nothing.
I don't know if the
We should
smack is
build
right or not,
around
but
things
he's
that
talking.
matter and
So let
not
me
things
see
that
if
don't
I
matter.
can
You have to also
you have to
also
right
take
there.
into the fact that black
And let
people
me
have
see.
only been
Okay,
able
so I
to
got that up right there. Okay, that's
completely
good.
legally
That's good.
be able to make
Okay,
profit
so go
for
back to
themselves
StreamYard.
for
Go
around
here.
60
Now just
years.
hang with me for a
And
second here. Let me
no.
see if I can
Since
get this thing rolling.
segregation ended
Okay,
in
the audio is
1965
right
and the
there.
Equal Rights Act in
The fault line is
1965.
right
So
there.
what
So
you're
that's 3.
there's not.
How did that?
Let
So
me
let's talk
see.
about you. How did that impact you? How did something that
Okay.
happened 60 years ago impact your life?
It impacts me all the
How?
time. What do you? Okay.
You're at Texas A&M.
My
You're doing
fa-
great.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Sure. Yeah.
So are you a living example that all that's a bunch of nonsense and you can just act good and
Okay, so
you know
that doesn't
behave
seem
well
to
and
be
succeed?
either.
But there's also
can't be
living
too many
examples
other
of the
places
exact
here.
opposite. If you look in the
Okay.
impoverished neighborhoods in certain parts of Chicago or
Okay,
St.
that's not
Louis,
either.
there's black communities
My
being
day is not
thrown
going good
aside
today.
because they're not
But
getting
we are.
education.
Thrown
They're
aside?
not
I
Okay,
want to be
so
in time for city
I think we can get
councilman.
somewhere.
How
Why
to do
have
that.
the
Okay.
black community gotten poorer since the passage of the Civil Rights Act? Tell me that.
because of the way the culture has been perpetuated through the
So that's
years.
like it's working
Think
right
about
there.
it. So they were richer when we were segregated and more racist. America's
See what I'm
become
doing?
less racist.
What
All right
about
then.
Tulsa?
So let me see if I can get that
Yeah,
going.
no one's going to
And
defend
see
what
if I can
happened in
get my man
Tulsa.
over
Again,
here.
but let's talk.
But that's
We're talking about a lot of different
that's an
cities. We're talking about
example
Chicago, Tulsa, but
don't know if anybody can hear
again,
that
this is a very
besides-
important point.
or-
Do you
or
think the
everybody
fact that
hearing it but me,
70% of
and
black
I'm the
youth
only
don't have a
person
dad
that's
around
not
is
hearing
probably
it?
pretty important?
That's because of the culture. What
So
Yeah,
let
this little fella right here,
respectfully allow me to interject. How does
he made my
white
brain tired
culture
listening to
impact
him.
the fact whether or not a black
Okay.
dad stays
Yeah,
around when he
but
impregnates a
I'm not
woman?
saying it's the white culture. I'm
What-
saying
what
it's
is it?
Well, we do
the
Instagram.
culture that has
I'll
been
get that going
perpetuated
tomorrow.
Through the 200 years of slavery, the 100
Okay,
years of
but
segregation,
all I want to do,
Jim
if you
Crow
guys
laws.
can
The
see
marriage. So I got to interject again. I'm sorry. I don't mean to
this
interrupt
guy
too
right
much.
here,
But
this guy right here
in
is
1960, before the
he's a
Civil Rights Act,
student.
20% of black youth had a
I
dad
don't know
around.
why.
Now it's,
I think I know
I'm sorry,
why.
20% were
I think I
single
know why
fathers,
now.
80% had a dad
Anyway,
around. It's been inverted.
That's what I'm
So
doing.
we actually have seen black
testing
dads
stuff
run
tonight,
away
so I
from
don't
their
look like an
kids
idiot tomorrow.
the last 60 years.
Okay, so
Why is that?
But hey,
because
Willie,
of
can
the
you hear
raised
me?
incarceration rates because
Because
of
if you can hear me, then
perpetuated
that's
culture.
half the
So
battle.
how does one go to jail?
I'm trying to figure out why I cannot
That's
find this
obvious.
guy
I'm not answering
here.
that
Yeah, so maybe
But
it's
we are
because
going
they
to
committed crimes.
take him
Okay,
out of
but
there for the time being.
When you're forced
We're going to
you're, it's not
we're
just
going to
the,
get rid of him.
oh, this is
Okay, so we're going to stop that screen right there. Appreciate everybody helping me out right now. Okay, so on Facebook. So, okay, so I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work because it doesn't seem to be working the way I want it to work. So let me share a screen, not share a screen, but share a screen, okay, I want to share a window. Okay, I want to share a window. Okay, that ain't what I want to share right there. Screen 2. Also share the audio. Okay, so I don't want to see a screen 2. Okay, screen 1, screen 2. Is there any more entire screen? Okay, a window. Okay, so I haven't got him locked in there. So let's go back to Facebook. Let's go to Facebook. Okay, now there we go right there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do right here. I'm trying to work this out tonight so it works in the morning. Okay, so take him off of there, take StreamYard over here, and see if I can find that brother right there. Okay, because I'm gonna figure out how to record this tonight if I don't do anything else. Because this right here is absolutely fascinating. His sense of logic and reason just absolutely stupefies me. And I'm gonna see. So here we go, right there. Okay. Now let me see. Okay.
everyone listens to it. It's not
No,
just isolated.
It's bad for everyone who listens to it. The point being
Doesn't seem
is
like I
that
can get him
black youth,
this
as they are
way
being
either.
raised, their role models
So-
are largely not glorifying
But this
staying
guy,
with
not
one
this
woman,
guy. This
getting
guy right here
married,
is talking logic
going
and
to
reason.
church.
But the
And
young
if you're
man,
wrong, show me the
I'm
black
glad
role
he's
models
in
that are
school.
doing that. There
I'm
might
glad
be a
he's at
couple I
place
could
where he
think
can
of,
go to
maybe.
school and learn things.
But if it's about culture, you're
but
right.
he's
The
not
internal black
really,
culture has collapsed the last
paying
60
a whole
years.
lot of attention. Hold on, let me go back here.
How did something that happened 60 years ago impact
Let's see
your
if I can
life?
Go back to him for a second.
Impacts
Now
me
this
all
guy
the
right
time.
here.
What do you- okay,
If you go to
You're
my
at
Facebook
Texas
page,
A&M.
you
You're
can
doing
read-
great.
You can read
yes,
this.
sure, yeah.
So aren't you a living
I'm
example that all
trying
that's a bunch of
to get
nonsense and you could just
so
act
you can
good
hear
and
this guy. I
But
mean,
there's-
behave well
his-
and
But
succeed?
there's,
sense
but
of
there's also
thinking
living examples of the
is
exact
just-
opposite.
it's
If you look in the
gonna
impoverished
set us
neighborhoods
back
in certain parts of
100
Chicago or
years.
St. Louis,
Okay.
there's black communities being
Can't you
thrown
talk to yourself
aside
in silence?
because they're not getting educated.
listen,
Thrown
they're
aside?
not-
Can you
Okay,
can you hear the guy?
I think we can get somewhere. Why have
Tony, can you hear the guy?
black community gotten poorer since the passage of the Civil Rights Act? Tell me that.
I'm gonna think to myself earlier. Okay.
Because
I just
of
need to know if you can hear the
way
guy that's on the
culture has
screen.
been perpetuated through the
Hold on.
years.
Think about it.
Okay,
So they
I
were
will.
richer when we were segregated
See,
and
I
more
haven't had
racist.
this many problems in a long
America's
time.
become less racist.
What about
Okay,
Tulsa?
we can. Oh,
Yeah, no one's
Okay,
going to defend
we
what
can't-
happened in
we
Tulsa
can-
again. But let's talk.
But that's
You
We're talking about a
and
lot of
video.
different cities.
Really?
We're talking about
Well,
Chicago,
I
Tulsa.
can't
But
hear the
let's
video
again. This
Oh,
is
well, let me shut up and let
Give
me
me
let
your
you listen.
perspective on
Okay, let me start this
DEI,
all over again.
because based
Let
on
me
what I
let
heard
you
earlier,
listen
I
to
feel
this
like
guy,
you don't think I
and
belong
because
here.
really?
he's a.
Of
I don't know if I'm that dumb or he's exceptionally smart, but I'm gonna let you guys listen, and then I'll figure out how to listen to the whole thing tomorrow. So let me shut up, let you listen to this guy because he's an interesting soul, the young man. Now I want you to tell me what you think about what he says.
Give me your perspective on DEI, and because based on what I heard earlier, I feel like you don't think I belong here.
Oh,
because
really?
of
Why?
How I am a black man, and because of DEI, I'm not qualified enough.
Are you?
to be here? Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Then you belong.
But why do I have to prove that to you?
You don't. You brought it up. I didn't.
Okay, but can you explain to me your position on DEI?
Yes, people should not be in positions just because of the color of their skin. Hard stop.
Okay, but do you feel like I'm here because
I'm not feeling anything towards you, actually. I'm not
but that's-
prejudicing you. I'm not stereotyping you. I'm saying that it's a material.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not
Well,
saying you are.
No, you are. You said I don't feel comfortable being here. You started with
I didn't say I wasn't comfortable being here.
hold
I
on.
said I feel like you
Okay.
made it to where
Right.
I got here through DEI.
So let's examine that. What have I said that makes you feel that way?
When you mentioned how DEI is only just putting people of color and marginalized groups in spaces, even if they're not so
Correct.
qualified.
That's exactly what
But-
DEI does.
But that's not all that it does. You're categorizing it as something it isn't.
No,
It
that's
puts-
exactly that is
But
like
that's
that is the
not-
charter missions for the
That's not all.
Okay,
that it
so
does.
diversity, equity. So equity is outcome based. Is
Okay.
about making people who are of different skin colors have the same outcome, regardless whether or not they are qualified. The best example we have of this is the Students for Fair Admission Harvard Supreme Court case, where black students, they did not, literally, they could have a SAT score 300 points lesser than the Asian equivalent and still get into Harvard. That is DEI in practice. I believe when you're hiring for an organization or for a company or for whatever you are doing, you should prioritize merit and character, and race should mean nothing. We should build around things that matter and not things that don't matter.
Okay, but you have to also take into the fact that black people have only been able to completely legally be able to make profit for themselves for around 60 years. And this is no. Since segregation ended in 1965 and the Equal Rights Act in 1965. So what you're talking, there's not.
How does
haven't-
that, so let's talk about you. How did that impact you? How did something that happened 60 years ago impact your life?
It impacts me all the time.
How?
What do you? Okay.
You're at Texas A&M,
my
you're doing
fa-
great.
Okay. Yes. Sure. Yeah.
So aren't you a living example that all that's a bunch of nonsense and you could just act good and, you know, behave well and succeed?
But there's also living examples of the exact opposite. If you look in the impoverished neighborhoods in certain parts of Chicago or St. Louis, there's black communities being thrown aside because they're not getting education.
Thrown
they're not-
aside? Okay,
Yes,
so
thrown aside.
I think we can get somewhere. Why have the black community gotten poorer since the passage of the Civil Rights Act? Tell me that.
Because of the way the culture has been perpetuated through the
Hold on.
years.
Think about it. So they were richer when we were segregated and more racist. America's become less racist.
What about Tulsa?
Yeah, no one's going to defend what happened in Tulsa again. But let's talk.
But that's
We're talking about a lot of
that is
different
an
cities. We're talking about
example of-
Chicago, Tulsa. But let's again. This is a very important point. Do you think the fact that 70% of black youth don't have a dad around is probably pretty important?
That's because of the culture. What I mentioned
So
earlier. That's because of the
respectfully
culture that's
allow me to interject. How does the white culture impact the fact whether or not a black dad stays around when he impregnates a
I'm not
woman?
saying it's the white culture. I'm
What
saying
what
it's
is it?
The culture that has been perpetuated through the 200 years of slavery, the 100 years of segregation,
Okay.
Jim Crow
Now,
laws.
The
you know,
marriage.
now
so
every
I
time
gotta
that
interject
question
again. I'm
is
sorry. I don't mean to interrupt too much.
every
But
time
in
that question is asked
1960,
about
before the Civil
black
Rights Act,
fathers, I'm always bringing up
20% of black
not
youth
being,
had a dad
not
around.
being
Now
involved in
it's,
the and then this
I'm
guy
sorry,
gonna-
20% were
Does
single fathers.
anybody
80% had a dad around. It's
This
been
guy,
inverted.
he's
So
bringing up
we actually have
Tulsa.
seen black dads
Tulsa,
run away from their
Oklahoma.
kids the last 60 years.
It's a shame and a disgrace
Why is
what
that?
happened, but that doesn't affect
Because of the
him.
raised incarceration rates,
You know,
because of the perpetuation
maybe
of
he
the
could
culture.
put a whole sentence
So how
together.
does one go to
Maybe
jail?
we'd listen to him, but
That's obvious. I'm not answering that.
Yeah, so maybe it's because they committed crimes.
continue.
Okay, but when you're forced for it's not just the this is old, this is in the past, this doesn't affect you anymore.
Okay, so actually, let's take a different group. How did the Holocaust impact Jews? They're doing pretty well.
Well, because they got reparations, we didn't.
How? What reparations did the Jews
Through
get?
acknowledgement, through money, through
No,
all.
we acknowledge slavery happened. So
Okay, but you're sitting here and acting like it plays no role.
no,
now.
but to your argument, the Holocaust was 80 years ago. Half of all the Jews on the planet were killed. Everything they earned was taken. Jews are doing great. If all of a sudden something that happened 80 years ago impacts your material prosperity, how did Jews defy the curve? How did poor Asians do so well? Why is it that Asians are now the wealthiest minority in America, many of whom came with no money in the 1950s or 60s?
Because of the culture and opportunities that were provided to them.
But you're not hearing me out. Black Americans have had the same opportunities. However,
But people still look at us like criminals every day.
hold on, but I don't look at you like a criminal.
I'm not saying
but-
you do.
but
I'm
the-
saying some people do.
But I mean, do you want me to be brutally honest with you, or do you want me to be
Yes,
politically
be
correct?
brutally honest with me.
Okay. Do black people commit more crimes than white people? It's not even close.
Okay.
Okay.
But you have to take into account the culture that has been perpetuated.
Okay, got it. So we can agree on this. Do you mean internal black culture?
It's not. It's deeper than that. Like.
Do you think? Let's take time out. Do you think the average rap artist that a black kid in the hood is listening to is glorifying marriage and family and saving your money?
That's what's. sells because it's a culture thing. It's not just within the Black community.
I
White
agree.
people
No,
listen to
but
it.
hold on.
Everyone listens to it. It's not
No,
just isolated.
It's bad for everyone who listens to it. The point being is that Black youth, as they are being raised, their role models are largely not glorifying staying with one woman, getting married, going to church. And if you're wrong, show me the Black role models that are doing that. There might be a couple I could think of, maybe. But if it's about culture, you're right. The internal Black culture has collapsed the last 60 years. We're no longer elevating the family. We're no longer elevating staying with the person that you're with. So our contention here as conservatives is that the systemic racism stuff is a bunch of rubbish. Instead, it's systemic bad choices.
Do you feel that systemic racism isn't real?
Of course not. What can I do that you can't do? Name it.
Okay.
No, seriously. What can I do that you can't do?
Fallacy. That's a slippery slope.
No, it's
fallacy.
not.
I don't know why.
Very simple. No, because back in 1940, you would have been able to answer that question. Well, Charlie, there's a bathroom over there that I can't go to. There's a major league team.
I can't walk into the grocery store and get the same looks that you do. I walked into Brookshire Brothers a couple of weeks ago when I was looked at.
That's an insanely hyper paranoid way of living life. But that's not evidence, right?
It's a real example.
By the way, if I walk into a Black neighborhood, I get bad looks too. Okay, so I don't know what the contention is.
Because of the way you treat our culture and the way you perpetuate.
Oh, wait, hold on. The way we treat your culture, we have gone to such great calisthenics and ridiculous gymnastics to prove that we're not racist. In fact, it's the worst thing that you could be called in America. We had, during George Floyd 2020, we had hundreds of millions of dollars given to Black Lives Matter. I don't know where that money went. Did it improve material worth of Black America? So, I mean, and we actually do know where it went, actually. And so, but going back to your main contention, when you practice DEI, because that was your main point, right? You are rewarding bad culture. You even acknowledge it. You are saying that someone should be there based on the color of their skin. We say skin color doesn't matter. If you want that position, work harder, study harder, and then you might be able to get that position.
When we're forced into underfunded communities where schools are based off of property value, we can't.
Well, actually, school choice is now the law of the land here in Texas, so that's not correct. Secondly,
do you just expect a single-parent home to pick up and move into some rich neighborhood?
Well, again, so let's go back to why are they the single-parent home?
Because the hundreds of years.
Do you believe in the maxim or the belief that you should take responsibility for your decisions?
It's not just one person's decisions. It's so much deeper than that.
See,
why are you trying to?
That's where you and I have a different belief. You believe in this.
It's not. It's a fact.
No, it's a belief. Again, you have to tell me then, why do Jews do so well? Holocaust didn't impact their material worth. How did Asians do so well? And by the way, even more so, why are Hispanics getting so much wealthier? If we were so racist, why are Hispanics all of a sudden gaining income the last 20 years? There's something.
It's a difference in culture. I don't know why y'all are clapping. But it's a difference in culture. The way that each culture is treated is so vastly different in America.
But again, you have to tell me, other than bad looks at the grocery store, how else is your future, you as a man in America, not a Black man, how is your future somehow restricted by racism?
My natural hair is deemed as unprofessional when I go into an office or workplace. When I walk around in certain places, people just assume, like I said earlier, the dirty looks. When people think you are automatically the worst of the worst solely because
we don't think that. You think
you like 10 times
because
now.
You think you know what white people think, and you don't.
I don't know what white people think.
Then why do you keep on saying you know what white people think?
Because I've seen it. I'm not
you've
saying
seen our thoughts?
I've seen what people have done to me and people who look like me around the world and in America.
How? Again, you are. Let's just make an example. You are here in the wealthiest country ever,
yes,
at an amazing university with all the opportunity imaginable in front of you. And all you want to do is look backwards at everything that prevented you when you are a glaring example that there is no systemic racism and you can actually achieve your wildest dreams.
Whoa, I never said that. I'm not the only Black person who exists out there. There's so many people who this culture is affecting to this day.
Do you know Black Americans are the richest Black people on earth? You cannot find a black majority country or any country where black people have significant representation where they are as wealthy, because even the poorest people in America are in the top 5%, the top 2% of wealth around the world. And so my whole belief is stop acting like you're a victim and start making better choices.
Not acting like a victim, bro.
Respect.
This is not a victim mentality.
No, it fundamentally is, because white people are not out to get you. There's nothing. There is nothing holding black people back. Let me say that again. There is nothing holding black people back. In fact, the opposite. You can get into colleges with lower test scores.
But
you could say things that white people can't say and not be fired for it. Black people are wildly disrepresentation.
People say that to me all the time, and they just walk around like it doesn't mean anything around here.
Say what? Say the what?
The N-word. I'm not going to say it on this public platform, but people say it to me all the time.
It derogatorily.
Yes.
No, I think you're lying.
Why would I be lying
So
about
you're
this?
trying to tell me at this campus, did you report it to student services?
I'm not. I have too much on my plate to worry about this.
So you're going to say at this campus, you're going to indict the moral character of Texas A&M.
I'm not indicting the moral character.
Oh, yes,
of
you are.
Texas A&M.
You're saying that.
I'm indicting the moral character of one person or a few people.
Oh, well, now it's one. So you heard it all the time, and now it's one. Got it. So
it's not. Okay, you're
no, but this is the point,
context,
is that I don't believe you, because now you resort back to a race hoax to make it seem as if the white kids on this campus are like racist and terrible.
Kids.
Oh, so was it a black guy that said it to you?
I'm not.
It matters a lot, because this is how lies are able to grow. Jussie Smollett, we see this. You have to challenge them head on.
Do you think I'm lying when I say that people say the N-word around here? And
if I think a white person comes up to you derogatorily and says, shut up, N-word, I'm not
saying they said it.
I said, are they saying it derogatorily?
But that doesn't mean it's word for word like that.
But okay, so then it's not an insult then.
Anytime.
So then don't bring it up as if it's evidence of racism.
Because you brought the N-word up first. I didn't.
No, I didn't.
No. You specifically said, name me an instance of the N-word.
No, I said black people can say things that white people can't say. Of course that's true.
But that's automatically implying that one word.
It's more than that. But let me just kind of build this out further.
What is it then?
There's a lot of things black people can say.
Explain it to me.
You want me to give you more examples of things? Yes. Black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. For example, black people can go up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did. So what are you gonna do? Cancel me? Black people are allowed to say. Black people are allowed to say.
I'm a grown man. I got way too much to worry about.
Black people are allowed to say that there is a systemic fraud issue within the PP loan application in black America. Black people are much easier to be able to say that black individuals, despite being 13% of the American population, commit 55% of the murders. If most white people say that at a job, they would get fired for being a racist. I don't care because I say whatever I want. So black individuals have much more intellectual public freedom than white people do. If a white person were to come up and say, you know, black America really needs to get its act together and stop sleeping around all the time and needs to actually have the
why would you
because it's true. Because
why would you just walk up to someone and talk and attack their culture from the outside?
Well, hold on, because hold on. Let's look at the evidence. You said to myself, you said there's all these people suffering in Chicago. There's all these people that are terrible. I'm telling you why. It's because there's been bad decisions that have been institutionalized. Let me finish. And rap artists and athletes and people at the top level of black society that refuse to ever challenge the core rot in black America, which is that they are allowing degeneracy and hedonism to eat the soul of what once was a beautiful black culture. And instead they go around saying it's the boogeyman of racism, the white man is out to get you, and the result is black America is doing worse than it was in the 1960s. That is the contention, period.
It's not just, it's a culture. It's so much deeper than the present day we are in. I don't know why you're pretending like it just doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter? You mean things that happen? Again, I've been through this multiple times. Let me just ask you one.
You're not listening to understand. You're listening to reply.
No, I'm doing both actually. And so, but let me just ask one final question, right? Mm-hmm. Which is that you have your entire future ahead of you. Mm-hmm. When you are hired for a job, would you rather be hired because of your race or because of how qualified you are?
It doesn't boil down to just that.
That's what DEI is, man.
No, it's
yes,
not.
It is.
No, it's
not. It is definitionally the hiring of people.
They're not just going to immediately see. You
get extra points if you're black with DEI. That's how it works. Racial quotas elevate people based on the color of their skin.
So do you think I got extra points to come here?
I don't know. You said you were qualified, but affirmative action was institutionalized in Harvard and in Texas and a lot of other places. There is nothing that is preventing black people from prospering. Nothing. The only thing is that you guys have been hypnotized to be victims of your own mind, to think as if there's a white person out to get you. I walk in the grocery store, they look at me differently. All that stuff is complete rubbish. The thing that is preventing you.
Life experiences, you're just denying my experience I just shared to you in front of all these people.
If you think that, okay, let me just be very clear.
I know.
America has come really far. If your best example of racism is getting bad looks in a grocery store, we have made incredible racial moral progress. That's only my
experience. There are so many other people
But I'm happy to hear every example that they have. It boils down to this. We are not just a racist country. We are the least racist country ever to exist. We go out of our way not to be called the R word, to demonstrate that we aren't racist, to show to people that I actually have compassion for others and that I want to try to help people of different skin color. But at its fundamental core, I have to go back to this. I don't actually think skin color matters that much. I don't. I want a country that aims towards MLK's dream of one based on content of character and one on competency. I think the hyper racial obsession of this country is really bad. It's really bad for everybody involved, including Black America. And I would just ask you, what would you do to improve the material well-being of Black America? What is your solution?
Education.
Okay, we've spent trillions of dollars on education.
It's not
trillions.
You need to fundamentally change the system of education because there's not enough funding. Teachers are not paid enough anywhere. Let's be honest. We need to seriously fix our education, especially when public school education comes from property taxes. When you're in a low income neighborhood, you're not going to get high income teachers.
If you had to choose more money for education or more dads for Black kids, what would you say?
That goes hand in hand. Education goes into
I agree.
Family
That's
planning.
why if we get more dads into homes, it starts solving the problem.
No, education is what solves the problem.
Well, hold on. But again, if you're just educating and there's not a dad at home reinforcing it, we've seen this play out. We see this in Chicago. In Baltimore, we've spent hundreds of billions of dollars in Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit. We have entire classes of kids that can't read at grade level. We have incredible examples of this. And it goes back to this. If you want to have a privileged life in America, very simple, start acting a certain way. Our belief system is that you come down to the most foundational family unit. And when that breaks down so severely, don't be shocked if that group, when it acts that way, stays in poverty over a longer period of time. Asians are incredibly loyally married. It's one of the reasons why Asian Americans do so well in this country. Hispanics do very well. White Americans increasingly are not doing as well.
They also came here by choice too. My ancestors did not come here by choice, but
so
we don't have to go too far into that.
We don't have to go into that. I want to get the next question. Again, you should be kissing the ground because you're right. You didn't come here by choice, but
why are you telling me to?
Hold on, I'm telling you right now, you should be kissing the ground with gratitude because you're right. You are not in Africa, and you should be thankful you're not in Africa, that you're in the United States of America. That's my end of potential. Thank you very much.
I mean, is that what this is all about? I don't know why we can't. I don't know why we can't say we need our Black fathers involved in their children's lives. You don't have to. They've been breakups and divorces since the beginning of time, but we don't walk away from our kids. We have a history, and my father was held probably the first guy. We have a history of walking away from our kids. Why in the hell can't we just admit that? And just about everybody in jail downtown in Montgomery, and probably just about everywhere in America right now, has a father that's not there, that wasn't in their lives. And sure, sometimes you got both parents at home and the child still becomes a heathen. Well, that's rare. That is rare, but that's okay. I don't know why we just won't say it. Black people, we need our dads, our fathers to be dads. Anyway, now as soon as I figure out why I can't hear that sound over there, I'll be good to go again. I don't know why I cannot hear. I cannot hear that, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me put a rain in the sky. Stormy weather, that's me. Anyway, I don't know. Who that up there a few minutes ago? And this guy gonna go back to wait a minute. This guy gonna go back to Tulsa like he knows something about it. Like he was around when Tulsa, when those terrible people did in Tulsa what they did. Well, what about Tulsa? You don't know a damn thing about Tulsa. As a matter of fact, if I grabbed you a map and said show it to me, you probably couldn't even show it to me. So history is great, but when you use history as an albatross, which is what I've said many, 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 many times, we use history to somehow pull failure from success. Okay, let's just admit it. White people were terrible back in the early days of America. They were. To a black man, white people were absolutely terrible. There's no doubt about it. Ain't no history tells it. Hell, I don't even need history to tell me. I know some of them. So we don't need that. But this is not the same America it was in 1932, 42, 52, 62, or even 72. Closer to 72 than what's it 32 and 52, but it's not the same. Some of my best friends are white folks, and some of my other best friends are black folks. I don't know why it is we won't. Nobody, when that question about fathers and dads involved in our kids' lives, and we got so used to talking about baby mama that we think that's normal. We think that normal. As a matter of fact, now the word ADD means all different daddies because everybody's got a different one in the house. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's just the way it goes sometimes. But anyway, I came from that kind of background too. Listen, everything I'm telling you, I've lived it. I know what it's like not to have a father at home or have a different dad come to the house that ain't your daddy, and they bring their kids something, but they don't bring y'all nothing because you ain't his. I've been through that. Understand that. I've been through that. You know, when one kid is lighter than the other kid in our homes, we treat the light-skinned kid much better than we treat the dark-skinned kid. I've been through that, done that, we've been through it. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, making all these excuses for bad behavior is not a good thing. Anyway, we're gonna continue this on tomorrow if I can. Because we've got to be honest. Black America, we need to be honest. And our biggest problem is fathers not being dads. That's the biggest problem that we have. I mean, I don't care what anybody else says. That's the biggest problem that we have is fathers not being dads. And when they finally decide to be dads, okay, when they finally decide to be dads, I think we will see a metamorphosis in America in the black community that we've never seen in a long, 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 long time. But until we become intellectually honest with ourselves, that dads are needed. Fathers are biological. Dads are relational. And we need some of our fathers have better relationship with their own kids. Okay. And because until that happens, we just walking across the street and the graveyard's over there, and we keep looking at it, talking about ain't no dead people over there. When everybody knows that in the graveyard, there are dead people. Okay. And here's another excuse. The damn environment the white race has placed the blacks in. The welfare system. Nobody has to take welfare. Nobody ever had to take it. Okay. That they placed black women, and a black woman never had to take welfare. Black man never had to leave the house unless he was just trying to get free money. Okay. Yeah. So that's a bunch of bullshit too. Excuse my language. That's bull crap. Okay. Nobody took the man from his house. He left. And if the woman of your children think the check is worth more than you, then that's your problem. You did something wrong. Okay. If the woman of your children said, "Give me a check and let him go," then you did something wrong. Either way it goes, like I was telling people this morning, it's the man's fault. Nobody can make you leave your kids for a check if that's what you want to do. I know people in this town right now, they got 18, they got 14 kids. One family got 17. Now they're grown people now. But now, no, they didn't let no check make them leave. Okay. So y'all full of crap. All right. And my good friend, listen, Mr. McCoy, I'm gonna invite you on the podcast one day so you come in and we can have this conversation. Okay, because you full of it also. Because no person, nobody can make you leave your house. Well, not for no money anyway. That's a bunch of crap. Nobody can make you leave. If you leave, it's because you chose that opportunity to leave. If it means getting 2 jobs, not coming home except for 2 hours a day to get a little sleep and head back to another one, then that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And for an army man, look here, man, you know about responsibility. You know about being in charge. You know about making people accountable. So stop. You've been a leg too long. You've been out in the civilian world too long. Okay. Anyway, gotta go. Now, I thank you guys for tuning in. I'm trying to fix this up so it works tomorrow, and hopefully it will. Okay. So have a good one. Have a good night. Have a good day. The rest of the day. I'm going. Okay. I'm going. I really am. I'm going. Let me see if I can hear this thing now, right quick. Okay. I just got to make sure I can hear I can hear some of this stuff, but whew, my for the last couple of days, my whatever I'm doing, it's been kind of rough. Okay, moving on. Remember, it is not the falling that makes us weak. It is getting off the ground every time we fall. Hey, we did a lot of falling in our communities. We've done a lot of falling, but it ain't too late. We got to get up, ruck up, and keep moving. That's what we got to. That's just what we got to do, right? And we got to be dads to our kids as opposed to just being fathers. Father don't take no brains. It takes about 13 seconds. But a dad takes a lifetime. Morning, afternoon to you. We'll see you later.
Every moment filled with your warm embrace.